Hello, everyone. Welcome to my channel. It's Kim here, and I am back. Wow, it feels like I just fell off of Earth or something in when it comes to YouTube land, doesn't it? I mean, it seems like a long time since I've been here filming. And this is not my regular spot to film. I'm holding the camera, so it's going to be a little bit shaky, but I really had to share this mess, this chaotic, creative, fun mess of remnants left over from 3+ weeks of pure joy. That's all I can say. It was pure joy. Now, if you follow along with me, some of you may know that my friends Val and Thelma came from Manitoba. Hi, gals. And Val stayed for about a week. And then, well, actually, I think it was 8 days in total. And then Thelma stayed for about 3.5 weeks. She just left yesterday. So yeah, I cried at the airport. I cried on the way home. I cried when I got home. I already miss these gals so much. I can't wait till they come back again. And hopefully, Val, next time, hopefully you can stay a little bit longer. But we did jam a lot of fun in while she was here. So I think she got a pretty good idea of what things are like here. So while Val was here, we did want to take her out on a few sites to see. I'm showing you some collage boards here that I've been working on. I'll switch pages as I talk. How's that? Here's something new to look at. But while Val was here, we did manage to fit in a few sightseeing days. We did do one, maybe two thrifting days. I can't remember. Did we do one for sure? But I can't remember if we did more than one. It is all a blur. Did lots of thrifting with Thelma, and while Val was here, they arrived on the Tuesday. So the Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, starting Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we had Jennifer Dirtle and Deborah Abraham. From both of them have YouTube channels, which are linked on my pages. They joined us they're from kind of the Moncton area. I think Jen is from Cocaine, sort of that area, Kokanee or something like that. But, you know, I'm just saying Moncton because if you look on a map, you'll see Moncton and you'll know what I'm talking about. So they're about an hour away from us. But they came for a 3-day sleepover, kind of a crafting retreat. And the reason I'm out here in this area is to show you what's still left over. First of all, we had so much fun. The girls got to see my studio, and I'm just going to lift you up here. And this is a window into my studio there. And so Val and Jen and Deborah, and then another girl, Emily, joined us on the Sunday. She's friends with Jen and Deb. So they got to see my studio for the first time and walk around and pick things out because I said they could pick 10 items a day out of my studio. And so they had some fun doing that, as well as lots of gifting and sharing between all of us. I will have to have separate videos to show you all the gifts that I received, all the fun goodies that we've picked up. I've got at least 15 videos to do just to cover these last 3 weeks, because Thelma and I went thrifting a lot. We also did a lot of creating here in my studio and outside the studio because we had way more room here. And as well as, like I said, the hauls, the gifts, the antiques stuff that we bought, just amazing. So I'm just going to give you a walk around the table, and I'm going to be talking about all of these girls and all the things we did and what went on over the next 10 videos at least, because there was the fabric sale in there. And then we got to meet Jen and Deb for lunch the other day, and just so many things that went on. I really have been rejuvenated, although I'm very sad that Thelma's gone, but I have been rejuvenated, and I'm looking forward to getting back into doing some serious, fun, creative stuff. and lots of things to share with you as far as our creative journey together. All of you on YouTube, I have lots of new ideas to share with you, and hopefully we'll get started on that soon, after I do all my 10 to 15 videos before that. So I'm doing these collage sheets, and this is because Thelma left me lots of scraps, and I had lots of scraps, and there were a few bits and pieces that the girls left behind that I, did. And there was stuff in some goodie bags. I'm going to forget 90% of the stuff, who it came from or what it was originally, but I will fill you in as I remember or as we go along. So yeah, I'm just doing these collage boards using up bits and pieces of colors that were left over. And this is done on, I used 2 dictionary pages, antique dictionary, and glued them together first and then did my collage on them. Now some of them, maybe not any of these ones, I'm not sure. Some of them I have done the backs on them. Just because I say, oh yeah, here's a few with the backs done on them as well. So they are ready to start cutting up to use for tags. But I had bought this dictionary for $6, 1942. The pages are very, very fragile and they're very thin. So I start by gluing 2 pages together, and then I just tear them out of the book because they won't stay in the book nicely. They start shifting when I start moving and flipping to the next side. So I'm just doing them where I take them out glued together 2 at a time, and then I do a collage board and then just keep going. And then these will go into my collage board binder that I have, and eventually get used up for tags and further embellished and enhanced. So that's what I've been doing to kind of clear up all the little bits and pieces. So over here I've got some smaller blue scraps that I'm going to do another little book or another page, but they are getting smaller and smaller scraps. So I'm putting them into my other collage journal. You've seen this book many, many times on my desk. And so I'm putting them in here and using those small pieces in here. But I have some lighter colored pinks and beige colors and purples yet to do. And then under this binder, I have some reds to do. Now these are used glue sheets over here. I'm going to stand up right away. And then I have the browns to do. So then over here I have Lulu. I don't know if she'll respond to me or not, but Lulu, say hello. Hey, say hello to everybody. There she is. That's my little princess. She sits close by me while I'm working here, and sometimes she gets involved, sometimes not. But I'm going to stand up now to show you. Now this is, can I get far enough back? This is 2 long tables, the fold-out tables, and we did have a third one going that way. So we were able to fit Jen and Deb over here. Emily was on the last day. And then Thelma sat here where I'm sitting right now. She sat here, and she actually had the whole table for 2 days, but then we took it away from her and gave Emily a piece. And then on the other side here, that is where I sat and where Val sat. But I'm going to show you just some of the stuff around the table, just because I don't know if you're interested in it or not. You can fast forward if you're not, but just to give you an idea of the things that went on here. So after all was said and done, after the 3 weeks, there were a lot of things that Thelma could not fit in her suitcase. And there were a lot of things that she intentionally did not want to take. And then there were things that she thrifted and gave me half of. So I'm just going to go through what's on the table because I do want to get this stuff put away over the next couple of days. So I figured I should show you some of the stuff and what's here so that I don't have to re-show you again. And trust me, there is no shortage of things to show you. So, I've got my tea here. Excuse my tea, but I have some more papers here, or scrap papers that are in black and white, and some book pages that I'm going to do some more collages. So hopefully I'll get those all done today. This is just my garbage. Back here is some larger scrap pieces that I'm going to be using for another project that I will show you later on. Thelma left me this beautiful pink journal. She had worked on it here, and I'm not going to show you inside because I'm going to do a separate flip through of it, but it is amazing. She finished it, and then she decided it was too much to take with her, so she left it behind. So I will be showing you that. I'm going to just put it aside for now. Over here I have some more small scraps and stuff, so that's where I put the book. This is just a scrap paper notebook, but she did leave behind a I guess it's a dictionary that she didn't take with her, and I don't know if this is the one that's stamped in. No, it's not. Okay, so it's just a plain book that she left behind. I don't know, maybe she got it from me. I'm not sure. She left behind her 3-in-1 because I guess it's flammable, and so you can't really take that with you. This is just odds and ends stuff. This cutter, this amazing little cutter I bought when I was with Thelma. We were thrifting in Fredericton. We went up to Fredericton for the first time. You need a map to get an idea of where all the places we've been. So this is a smaller cutter. It's only about 10 inches by 10 inches. But it's an amazing good shape for an antique cutter. I thought I would have to sharpen the blade, but no, it's very, very sharp still. The person wanted $20 for it, and I didn't pay $20 for it. And I'm going to tell you a little secret when you're out thrifting. If you see something for $20, you never bring out a 20 because you're never going to get it for cheaper than 20. But if you have a $10 bill in your hand and you say that's all you have is a $10 bill, I'm pretty sure that I would say at least 70% of the time people will take you on the $10 bill. And if they say no, you don't dig out the 20. This is my rules. You dig in the bottom of your purse, and I always make sure to have at least, a couple of dollar bills or toonies. In Canada, it's $1, $2 coins. In the United States, I think you still have bills. It's always good to have a few of those floating in the bottom of your purse, maybe a couple of quarters and whatever other small change you have, so that you kind of pretend you're digging in your purse to find the last bit of money. Again, a good chance that you will be able to convince the seller to take whatever you've got. So, in other words, I was fortunate. I got it for $10, but my strategy is to slowly work my way up based on what I find at the bottom of my purse. And then I make sure that wherever I am, I never pull out a 20 where they might see the $20 bill that I did have. So there's a little tip for you. But yes, I paid $10 for this. Absolutely love it. And it was a great purchase. I will enjoy putting this in my studio and using it in there. So over here, I got to show you all this stuff because otherwise I'll never get to explain it all. Over here, I gave everybody goodie bags of stuff. Jen gave everybody bags. Deb brought bags. Val brought bags. And so for Thelma, whatever she didn't want, she passed on to the other girls that were here. And so like Jen and Deb and Emily, I think, took a lot of the stuff that she didn't want. Not that she didn't want it. It's just that she couldn't fit it all in her suitcase. There's no way. So this is a baggie of remnants that got left behind at the end when she was just with me. So I ended up with some more scrappy bits. So I will be working out of this bag as well. So to go on to now I've got everything covered here. Yeah, that's just my glue gun here. So it's just messy. So to go on here, this was a dress that I hope it's not too shaky. a little girl's dress that Thelma bought, and all she wanted was the trim that was down here. Whatever it was, she cut it off. And I think there might have been a few other little things on the dress that she cut off. So my goal, because she left it behind, is to use the fabric to make a journal cover. And so it's sitting here, and use it up. So I will make some ruffles and get it gone instead of trying to put it in my studio and never seeing it again. This piece here, isn't this lovely? This was a dress, a full dress that came down to around the ankles, like an ankle length. But it's all flowers that are there was an underlay, and it's here somewhere, or maybe it's in another pile, I'm not sure. But it's all flowers that you can cut out. So I said to Thelma, take half the dress. So she cut off what she wanted, and of course left me a huge piece of it. But all of these flowers can now be individually cut to be like little doilies or floral embellishments to use on a project. Another one of those situations where I got the dress at a very good price. I think I paid $8 for the dress. I think that's what I paid. A piece of lace. This came from Thelma's purchases. A piece of polka dot fabric. I gave her the dress. It was a little girl's dress. So she took the skirt and left me the top, because I thought these are more her colors. And then there was this dress, which I'm going to now use because she said the color wasn't right for her. Thelma likes a certain kind of pink and doesn't really stray much from it. And this was purchased a long, long time ago. You can see the price, $1.99. But I had it in my stash to give to her. And she decided it wasn't going to work for her, so I'm going to cut it up. I'll probably share some of this with Deb or Jen or whoever wants it. This came out of my room because we were doing purple, and so she had used some purple fabric she bought. This was a curtain. There's the rings here. I will show you what we can do with those rings one of these days. So I got the remnants of that. And then she bought a really pretty ivory colored top. Now she took what she wanted, and this is the overlay on the top. It's a very soft raw silk. And then this was the lining underneath, which is also raw silk. And so I will cut this up very nicely and make ruffles with it. Just so many beautiful fabrics. Now this was a dress again that I bought. So she took, or maybe she bought this one. She might have bought this one. But she took half and left me the other half. But this is the portion she left me. Yes. And then this was out of my studio. Somebody needed some red velvet, and so I brought it out of my studio. This was a dress that Thelma bought. Now, these are just thrift shop buys. We're not even talking fabric sale buys yet. But this was a dress that she had bought, and we actually almost used up this whole thing, which was pretty cool. And I think this is the lining from my flower dress. And this is the lining from that pink dress, from the little pink girl's pink dress. This was a sari scarf that Thelma gifted me, and I've taken all the trims off, and you will see the trims later. But this now will all get cut up into ruffles. And this was another sari scarf that Thelma gifted me when she came. And it's a beautiful purple. And these are actual, I'm going to try and come closer here. These are very tiny, tiny little sequins all stitched together. I hope you can see that well. And so I took the trims off of this, which you'll see the trims on the other side. And so now this, I'm going to cut some of these out to use sort of as an applique. And then the rest of it I'll just fold up and put in my studio. There are some things that I'm just not going to get to as far as finishing every little thing in here before I put stuff away. But I'm going to do my best to try, because once it goes in my studio, it seems to go in the pile, and then I never get to this stuff. So it's always good to try and finish it off wherever possible. So that's that part. And then when Thelma came, she brought this container, and it was full of all her supplies for pink, for the color pink that she was working on. There's Lulu again, quite annoyed with me. And this was just she had some bags she had brought with her. This, I think this is her stamp. Yeah. She had brought some of her stamps and was stamping the pages. And then she went and got some of my, I think this is all hers yet. Yeah, and then she went and got some of my ink stamps and stamped on the pages, and then decided she didn't have room for this. Too bad, but yay! So I have a lot of my stamps that she used for that are already on paper here that I can now collage with. And I don't know how far she went in here. I think that's it. So she left this book behind, some remnants of the pink fabrics that she was working with. Isn't this fun stuff? It's fabric, if you can believe it. It's very shaggy. Some more linings that I can turn into ruffles. Some beautiful pink web. This is the color that she likes to work in. So the pink that I had given her was just a little bit too rosy, whereas this is more of a very soft antique pink. But she left these pieces behind. So I think what I'll just do is put them in the pile, and when she comes next year, she'll have stuff to work with. And down at the bottom here is some pearl trim. But she also left me this plastic tub. Yay! So maybe I'll just put soft pink in here and it'll be the Thelma tub. I'm not sure. Underneath this, Jen brought me all of these burlap bags. Now, I think some of them are from coffee beans. Some are from rice, because I mentioned that I love these bags. So I have a few projects to work with to do this. So this might be something that stays out here until I get it done. But yeah, just fun stuff. And thank you, Jen. I will enjoy working with this, and you may see some of these journals in action very soon, because I've been working good on my journals, which you'll get to see shortly. So yeah, hopefully I'll get some of these done. A piece of felt. Now this came from inside of, they were 2 pillow covers. You'll see my pillow cover shortly. Thelma did use hers and did take hers home. So this was the felt in between the backing fabric and the finished fabric. Now it had this corded trim around it, so Thelma just cut it off of hers and left this for me. So you'll see the pillowcase. Actually, you might be able to see it. It's way up there. Where's my fingers? There it is. Sort of there. That fabric sitting on top of the tub. So, but I will come close and show it to you. So this this was her leftovers. So I will take this apart, because I will probably, and you can see this is where the batting is. It's like a quilt batting inside. So I will take this apart and salvage the trim, and then also salvage these pieces that she cut off, because she was, just doing the bare bones, getting it done. Oh, a piece of recycling that somehow got on my table. Now, Jen gave me a huge box of books to share with the girls, but they weren't taking any books home. So this is a gorgeous Americana cookbook that I'm going to keep for myself. I do have several other copies of these Americana cookbooks. I don't know if this is exactly the same, but if not, it's in better shape than the one I have, only because it's been used and loved and abused for 40 years. So I'm going to keep this one and let mine go, or turn mine into collage or something. So this was another book. What was this? Oh, I think this was either from Thelma or from Jen, but it was meant for me to have the hard cover. So I will enjoy using that cover. And then this was a scrapbook that I got from my friend Louise at the antique store that we go to. Hello, Louise. And it was full of scrapbook pages with greeting cards and collage cutouts, you know, from the time period. Like now this says 1927, so I imagine it was shortly after that. And so it was used as a photo album scrapbook kind of thing. And so I went through, kept a couple pages. All the girls took 1 or 2 pages, and then Jen took the rest. So if you follow Jennifer Dirtle, she did do a haul of her time that she was with us, and she shared all the different things that she got and took home from here. So this Reader's Digest here was my stamping journal. I think that Thelma was stamping for me at the same time as hers. Yes. So I ended up with two of them. Although this one only has her stamps in it because she said, well, you can stamp your own stuff whenever. So that's fine too. I have 2 books of fun images to use for collage. One of my rolling carts, and you've seen this in my studio before. This has just had my collage books and image books, so the girls were able to get images from it. Over here, I'm just going to move you around slightly. So first off, I'll show you outside. Jennifer and Deb stayed in our camper, and we had our camper. The truck wasn't there, but we had our camper at the end of the driveway here, sort of, and that's where they slept for a few days. This bag here, we went to another antique store, and Thelma was talking to the lady, and she was unpacking some items that she had bought or was putting out for sale. And so Thelma asked her if she could have the packaging, and so she said yes. She thought we were a little crazy. But now I have all this packaging. It's brown paper packaging that I will fold up to use for collage. We all dug in there a little bit over the weekend when the girls were all here. But yeah, now it's time to fold it all up and put it away. This is I'll just get this out of the way. This is where my cats sleep in the afternoon sometimes, or on this big butt chair. But this is some of the other books that Jen gave me. There's probably nothing super. There's a few book covers here that are older that I will use for gutting and turning into books. So I will be doing some of those. And I have a new style of the way I'm binding books now that is really working well. Now this one's taken quite a bit of abuse here, so I might have to just cover this one or discard it. I'm not sure. But it's an old book that I can use the pages inside. Love this book cover. So this will definitely get turned into a journal where I leave the book cover as it is. And then this green one is funny. If you look really quickly, it says practical arithmetic and menstruation, but it's not. It's mensuration. But I just thought it was funny, and I thought, well, maybe I can do something to play on that a little bit. So practical arithmetic and menstruation. I hope you see the humor in it. Anyway, I have to go through this book, but I did make a dent. I have taken a few books out of here already to use and made some stuff. So now I'm going to turn you around again. I don't know why I'm taking you on this tour of this mess, but I figured I should. Because we didn't have time to really do any videos while we were playing around. So I figured, I got to show you something, and all of this stuff is going to get put away in its rightful place very soon. So I don't want to not show you stuff, which is why I'm leaving it out. So over on this side, Thelma had picked up a bunch of magazines at the fabric store, and they were 10 for $1. So I think there's 20 magazines here. They are just magazines to cut out and collage with. I will go through some of them, and some of them I will give to Jen if she wants. Jen, let me know if you're interested in any of those. This is just a file folder of some of my collage bits. Again, I thought if anybody wanted to use stuff, but everybody kind of brought their own stuff, so they really didn't need to use much of mine, but just some packages of paper, scrapbook paper that I put out for people to use if they wanted scrapbook paper, and then just some of my supplies. Like this is my embroidery floss and just some tools. These are bra pads inside the, there's a lining on one side and the lace on the other. These are from dresses that had the bra pads in them. That's what it is. And so I was showing the girls how to cut them apart to use to make fascinators. So that would be the base for a fascinator, and then you would just decorate from there. I don't keep a lot of these, but one of these days I'm going to have a day where I make fascinator hats, and maybe I'll take you along and show you how it's done. But yeah, so this was just some scraps. So I had this little bench full of this stuff set aside so that people could go and have a look at stuff, whatever they wanted to look at. Up here, this whole thing was filled with candies and treats. After 3 weeks, they have pretty much disappeared. There are still a few, and things just got moved around here. It's just some of my basic supplies. We had a fridge here full of drinks, and we had a coffee maker, but everybody used the coffee maker upstairs, so I didn't need to use it. Now on this side, I'm going to tell you that everybody gave goodie bags, right? There was something for everybody. And so what is really ironic and unbelievable, this could never happen in a million years, I'm sure. I went to Dollarama and I bought 6 different bags with these glittery butterflies. Now you're going to see my 2 up on the fridge here. Now, those 2 are my bags because I gave myself a bag so that everybody could put stuff in for me. And then Deb gave everybody the same butterfly bags. Now, here is the part that is so unbelievable. Don't look at the toilet paper behind those 2 bags. That's just where I store toilet paper. Here is the thing. 6 people, 6 different bags, and 2 sets of bags. Well, all 6 were butterflies, but 2 sets of butterflies were different. And they were different in that they were a smaller butterfly and not as vintagey looking. They were more glitzy and glamoury. Because Emily, I chose a butterfly bag that had pink and purple butterflies on it with a black background because she likes gothic type things. And Jen, I gave her the other background. I think it was a creamy color, or I'm not sure. Maybe it was a pink color. Jen can tell you. Anyway, I gave her that bag because she likes more bright colors, and the butterflies were really bright on this bag. So I bought 6 bags. Deborah bought 6 butterfly bags, and she did exactly the same thing, which is why you see up there I have 2 the same color. Thelma, this was the color I chose for Thelma, and same with Deb, but Thelma left me one of the bags behind. She took the other one. She said, we'll both make a journal out of it and see what happens. But it just blows my mind that Deb picked the exact same 6 bags for the exact same people, not knowing what I had done and not knowing, just kind of guessing at what people would like. So that was pretty cool, and I just thought I would share that with you. So I'm going to make a journal out of this one, and or 2, because the butterflies and the glitter are on both sides, which is unusual for those dollar store bags. Just some odds and ends left over. This pile here, I use these plastic trays for everything. This pile here is all the napkins that I got from everybody this weekend. Unbelievable. All kinds. So I'm going to be showing you a new technique for how I'm going to be storing butterflies now, because isn't that pretty, this strawberry one? because Thelma came up with this idea and I just went, that's amazing. So I'm going to be sharing that idea with you. Just a bag. I guess Thelma got stuff in this bag, and so I got the empty bag. Fabric she couldn't take with her, this beautiful green. Oh, this is a plastic shopping bag that shouldn't even be here. And then on our last day of thrifting, Thelma picked out this hat box for me because I have 2 or 3 of the very same one right now stacked up in my studio, and they host my most precious trims and things. So when she saw it, she had to buy it for me. So she was surprised I hadn't seen this tub, because I didn't. And I was over in the book section, and she had been in the book section. We shopped separately for some reason. And I found her an Edith Holden book, and she couldn't believe that she didn't see the Edith Holden book either. So it was kind of fun. She bought this for me. I bought her the Edith Holden books. So it was a fun exchange at the cash. And over here, Thelma was making what I call weekenders, and so she gifted me 2 of these, and they are done on a file folder, and I just have to now finish the rest of it. I will share that journey with you. So yeah, she left me 2 of them. These are fabrics that I have in my studio that she worked from, because she couldn't bring a lot of stuff with her, so she did make a huge pile of these and took some of them home with her, and she gave some as gifts to the other girls as well. Now this one, Val was interested in slow stitching. Now I'm going to show you the one first. So this is my slow stitch project. It is done on a napkin. It was a pretty napkin that had this embroidery in the corner. They're almost like a handkerchief in a way, but they are definitely a table napkin. So I did keep that. And I've been doing the slow stitching, and I will go into more detail with this after, and including this felting that I have along the edges here. But I will go into this into more detail after. And then this is the inside, and I am slowly stitching around all of these flowers, but I will never, ever in my lifetime do this again. It's a lot of work. But I will go more into detail with this as I continue to work on it. I just took a break from it for a bit. But I had made or gathered everything for Val to make one, and then she didn't have time, and then she didn't want to take it with her because she really didn't have time to see how I was doing things. So she said she'll work on one from home, and so then now she didn't do anything to it, and then Thelma started playing with the fabrics, and she was going to work on it but ran out of time, so it got left behind for me because I think they both saw how much work was involved and said, maybe not. So I have 2 of them. I will take you along when I'm stitching this one. This one is pretty much done now. It just has to be put together, but I will again show you these in detail, and they will be journals as well in the future. Bored yet? I hope you're not bored. Like I said, there's just so much here on the table. This was a mask. Now I took it all apart. This actually sat on top of here. It was actually pretty, but it was falling apart. So all of these things are falling off the gold trim. So I decided to take it all apart. I'm going to make the pattern from this. I paid $4 for it. And I'm going to make the pattern from this to make them in the future, and then I will share that information with you, how I come up with the pattern. And then if ever you guys want to do these masquerade masks, they're not that hard to do. The masks itself, this one's covered in plaster or something on the outside that's coming off. It's chipping off. But you can pick up these masks at, Temu or AliExpress or BB Craft, I'm sure, or even if you wait till Halloween, you can probably pick them up at Halloween. But they're just great to use as the initial base and then to do the decorating. So I will probably show that later on as well. Some green fabrics. Now, this was a scarf that Thelma gifted me. This green lace was a top she bought and cut up and gave me part of it. And, we were getting these fabrics at really good prices. So it was fun to pick up stuff. You know, this is just like the peachy one over there that I got. So it's all flowers that you can cut up and use. And then this was another piece of fabric. I don't remember. It's a sleeve, I think. So I think it's an offcut from somebody. A necklace or a couple of necklaces here that I picked up that matched in with this, that I said I was going to work on it. And then I found these rolls of fabric, and I will go further in detail about this later on. I think it's a bed sheet, but it must have been several bed sheets that somebody cut into these strips. Because I did thrift this, and I got 3 rolls, one which I gave to Jen and Deb, but I will go into further detail when I'm working on this. And I started to do some slow stitching on here, making a snippet. So this I will show you in the near future as well. So that's just a little tidbit for you, my glue. Oh. This bag came with a beautiful bouquet of flowers in it from all the girls for the crafting weekend. And thank you so much. There's a story behind that. I actually got 2 bouquets of flowers. There's a story behind that. But thank you for the beautiful flowers. And then I got to keep the bag after, and in it I've just got some fibers and felt. Thelma and I have discovered that we have 2 wool shops in my area here, one right in the town of Sussex and another one outside of the town of Salisbury. So I had some great adventures there. I will share the details on that later, but my little Lulu will steal any fibers that we leave on the table. So I had to put them in something so she wouldn't touch them. And these are just the ones that we're working with today, or we were working with this week. So I just kept them in here so that they were safe from her little paws. And then over here, I've just got my scrappy trays that people were working out of, you know, if they needed stuff. I have the other ones over there, and there's my other cart. And so they were just working out of the scraps I had if they needed something. And I think for them, it was just as much fun to pick through my junk and see what I had, and how I, you know, display things as it was to see my room too. So I think they had some fun with that. Just some of my bags of scraps. I have gold on the table. I have over there, I had a bag of red and a bag of black, but they're on that candy table. And then I didn't put these away, but this was a bag of gems that I picked up for $1 at one of the thrift shops. Don't remember which one. And these were a gift from Jen. And it's just mixed different little beads and gemstones and stuff. So I will use these in some upcoming projects, I'm sure. Thank you, Jen. And this was a bag that Thelma bought. I think she picked out half of what she wanted and gifted me the rest, and a lot of the beads are matching or complementary to those ones. So that's that. This is just a pile of bits and pieces of paper. So then over here, this came out of my studio. Somebody was using that. Somebody was using that. This is the trim that went around the orange scarf that I showed you on the other side. So it is beautiful trim, and you will see it in action right away. And then this was part of the purple trim, which is here. That's the one that had the round gold medallions. This is the trim that came along the edge. So here's more of that same purple trim. So this was along the side of the scarf, on the 2 long sides, and this was on either end of the scarf. So I cut them off, and you will see that in action today as well. And then this was that red glittery skirt. So this was the bottom of it. Did I use some of this? I might have used some of this today, or already. I think I did. So this was along the bottom of it, but I decided to cut this off because there's so many options for border patterns on here that I can cut it any width I want to use as a border trim. And you know, I don't know if you can see it in there, but it does have a little bit of glittery sequins in there, so it does sparkle a little bit. And I can further enhance it by adding other gems and beads with it. So this will eventually, whatever I don't use, will go in my special trims bucket, which is like the flower bucket that I showed you, and these just have to go back on the shelf. Oh, and then since I'm here on top of the freezer, I will show you. This is the pillowcase that Thelma bought 2 of and gave me 1. So it has a beautiful lining on the other side, and then it has this beautiful print. It's very vintage. It's like vintage wallpaper almost, isn't it? It's gorgeous. And then there is the batting that's in between here. So I have the rest of Thelma's with just the trim to take apart, and then this one. So all of these get taken apart before they go back into my studio. So then now I'll just give you this view. So from here, you can see my big butt chair over there and our TV. We were watching a lot of videos. In fact, that is a video from Deborah Abraham that I'm about to watch. It's her part 2 lace haul. So just so you know, I am watching your videos, Deb. I haven't commented on any of them yet, but that was what I was watching today. I'm trying to get caught up on the latest videos. But the other thing I wanted to show, I'm just going to walk around here. So you can see I have quite a bit of things to put away. I'll just move that out of the way. And it's a little hard to do this one-handed here, but this is kind of my finished pile, sort of. So this was 2 journals that I put together from an atlas. I used the front and back cover, cut them down to half, so I got 2 journals out of the one. Same with this was another atlas, and so I took half the book here, and because it was a large book, so I cut it in half, as you can see, and then cut the back in half, and then redid a whole new spine on these. So they are not finished, but I will do a flip through to show you when they are done. And I will be doing a video of how I make these journals because I'm really happy with this new binding system and it's working very well. And then I have 2 of these, and they were made from some chipboard that I had. This is where I used that turquoise trim and that purple trim. And then this is part of the purple curtain that Thelma bought. And then this was just some trims I had in my room. So this is 2 journals put together just here while the girls were all here. Well, mostly while Thelma was here. It's kind of hard when there's 6 of us. Too much talking and too much fun. And then this was the other fabric from Thelma that I used on the inside, and there's that other purple that I used on the inside of this journal. So I will walk you through these journals if you're interested in the future. These both have a front and a back pocket, and very fun to put these together, and they have 3 signatures in them. So I am pleased with the way I'm doing these, and so I'm looking forward to sharing that with you in the future. So all in all, this is the mess that I'm dealing with right now. I'm going to slowly start putting it away. What I will do now is share with you the different things that as I do them, I'm just going to come back around to the other side of my desk or where I'm sitting. Lulu's still there. She's my little old granny. I'm going to move this out of the way. Everything's teetering right now, but I will sort it out so that I can work here. But I'm going to come back to these collage boards because I didn't finish showing you them. So that is what I'm working on today, is these collage boards, so I can get this book off my desk and all these little scrappy bits that I have left. So all in all, like I said, it was amazing. I feel so rejuvenated, but also sad that Thelma's gone because, you know, that is just, we have so much fun together. Way so much fun. There should be a law against it because it was just too much fun. But I'm looking forward already to, you know, it's less than 365 days till she's back. And I'm looking forward already to her return. And just an update on how things are going with Tom and I. We are doing much better, and sorry, it's very positive. So that is a step in the right direction. And yeah, now we just move forward and see how things go, with regular checkups from time to time. And yeah, that's all you need to know. I mean, you can figure it out if you are a bit of a scientist, you'll figure it out. Anyway, or a sleuth. That's it, just to show you some of these collages and give you an idea of what I did today, just to get some of this scraps off my desk. And I'm looking forward to cutting these up, and I will share that with you as well when I do start cutting all of these up for you to see. So that's it for this video. It's just a catch up and a little chat, but do stay tuned. I'm going to have a lot of haul videos, a lot of them, because I have bags of stuff sitting waiting to show you. And I also have like 2 huge bags here full of some lovely goodies. Like, these are my butterfly bags that I picked and that Deb picked for me. So I'm going to have to turn these into journals as well. And back there is a bag from Jen. Just amazing how everybody has such interesting taste and fun things to share with the others. So there will be lots of videos. I'm not kidding. Between all the fabrics, the felts that we bought, the thrift hauls, the antiquing, I have bags and bags of stuff to share. So lots ahead of me. I will try to do a haul and then a tutorial, so to split it up so it's not too much haul stuff. But I'm probably going to try and do at least one every other day or every day if I can, just to get caught up. So stay tuned for more, and let me know if you found this interesting, because I have lots of videos to show you. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm happy to be back, and I look forward to seeing all of you soon. I wish you all a very creative day and a creative week. I mean, it is Saturday, but hopefully this will be up Saturday night or Sunday morning. And we will start fresh shortly after that. Thank you all. Bye for now.